Hello and welcome. I recently went on a journey around and across America riding most of Amtrak's long-distance rails. And in this video, you will get to see many of stations and scenery from different parts of the United States. I'll minimize commentary here and on, so please relax and enjoy. Woods after woods after woods. Caesar's Superdome. Yeah.
Joshua, your technical host, and I'm delighted to bring you on the path of our entire indulging in our open table service.
진짜 자그마한 역이네요. 되게 웨이팅 에어리아가.
Puis quand les tiens, c'est ton.
거리시다. 제대로다. (63) Is this the one that arrived from Chicago?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then there's one also coming from New Orleans, right? That's
Yes.
gonna join. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
That was coming early.
왔다.
Looking up and down. Yeah, watch.
Yeah, but like 40 minutes, 35.
Good morning. This is Haley in the Cafe Car. The Cafe Car is located at the lower level of the observation car camp Vincent. In the center of the train, car with big windows. In the center of that train, you'll find a set of stairs leading down to me.
Thank you, Sunset Limited. Ah. Fácil. 저 건너편에는 멕시코.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look outside the window right here, outside the train, that river that we're passing is the Rio Grande River, Rio Grande. That means, ladies and gentlemen, we are leaving the state of Texas and entering the state of New Mexico. Yes, finally. That's, for those of you that are interested, that railroad, there's two railroad bridges. When you do come to the lounge club, please let me know that you will be paying by credit so that I can inform our POS in minutes. If not, I will see you back at 3:30. Coming up to the point, United States and Mexican border on the left-hand side. This little town that is on the left side of our the Mexican side that is
So that other side is Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
You look on the right-hand side, the border.
Better get out of that chair and stretch your legs. Yes.
애리조나에 도착을 했습니다. 쬐끄만 여기네. 밤에 trains, bus, Santa Barbara.
Hay mucha brisa, no quiero que me agarre mucha brisa.
¿Qué tiempo de prisa? Dile que se no se mira.
Entonces yo voy a llegar como a la 1 allá a la casa y ya ellos saben cuando estoy prisa ahí.
Amtrak. Okay. Emeryville, California.
Time we've had an incident occur with the railroad, and so we're going to be holding here for a while.
This was what I was talking about when I said I wanted to see some different landscapes. That's a good idea. Or a better sight.
Man, that's gonna take forever. Without this, I can't do anything. So I was told,
So, on this.
When the train takes off, you can just hold on here. You can go for a run.
As you have noticed, we have no power right now. They are working on it.
Squeeze in at the tables. Ultimately, I'm going to have standing room only on this train just to accommodate everyone. So we don't leave anyone out in the cold here tonight. To accommodate everyone we can. We'll deal with this all the way until Portland. Thank you. Thank you in advance.
I usually see the front of the train, but it's so cold. Oh my goodness. Nice station? Not as high ceiling as. Anyhow, as I make my way up to Seattle's King Station, I will conclude my scenery portion of the video here. There will be more to see in the following videos, but I'll minimize spoilers. Hope you enjoyed the scenery. Remember, this is just a showcase of what I got to see along the Amtrak route. There's much more to come, so don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.